most people, most of, especially like our brothers and sisters, who comes here and they have this notion that, oh, I'm a Ghanaian or I'm a Nigerian, I'm a Ugandan, Ethiopian. Oh, I don't want to be around my people. Like, I want to stay away from them. If you are there watching us, let me tell you this. Regardless of how you may think your people may be toxic, that's what you have.
I think I am more Ugandan here than I was back home. There is a big gap between what we dream and what we find when we move abroad. This is Finding Bliss with ALG. Joining me is
Emmanuel Champion.
Emmanuel is a Ghanaian creative. Previously, he was a creative in the Ghanaian vibrant theatre scene, and he transformed his career into a creative photographer. And he is ready to share his story with us. Get ready for our fun story time. Hi, Emmanuel. Welcome back to Finding Bliss.
Thank you. That's how are you.
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. So give me a journey. How did you start? What were you expecting before you came to America?
Oh, so my dad bought my first camera at an early age. So I think church, I was part of the theater group. High school in Ghana too, I was part of the theater group as well. Then I usually go around capturing stuff, and I still have most of the images from Ghana because I remember my brother in-law also bought me a external hard drive. So like I take pictures. I also helped most of the senior high schools in Ghana. Yeah, like Kumasi, most of the girls' schools like Siloé, Asantua, like they had scripture union. So every weekend I go there, help them with their dance, drama, direct them. And so that was when I realized that, when I have this camera, you can do all these. So what else can I do? Then now they call them Laser Legacy, but it used to be Spring Verb. They have a show on YouTube called Makala vs. KGTN. I'm one of the pioneers. I started with them. It was like a stage. So it was more like a stage theater. So I realized that, with the dance, with the acting, I have the exposure, like just to talk to people. And so coming over here, when I came, church, I came around March, spring. And I think it was around that Father's Day period, like, then I stayed at church. I did my first dance at church. I was like, oh, this guy has it. So my mind was more to get into theater over here, but.
Were you expecting to get here and get into Hollywood, Broadway? Because you're in theater creatives. So is that the kind of expectations you had?
Trust me, yes. I had that in mind when I was coming because I've been watching Tyler Perry, more of his stage
Yeah.
shows in Ghana. Then I remember when I came and I started school and you have to do nursing.
Wait, when you told you had to do nursing?
Yeah, so that was a plan.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a plan. So even when I was at Truman and I was doing my perks, most of the professors thought like, you don't look like a health field person
Healthcare.
because you are out there.
There you were studying healthcare. You went into school for healthcare.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was more like, okay, so like we don't see most of our professors were like, like you are always out there, like, when it comes to leadership and everything. So like you with healthcare, it's but because like, your dad wants you to become a nurse.
Okay, let's get into the difference between the expectations that people have before they move here
Yeah.
and the realities that you find when you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were those most heartbreaking moments when you realized that you can't do what you used to do or you can't do what you're expecting to do and you have to go with what is there?
I think it was sad, because when I was coming, I thought, coming over here, watching Tyler Perry, like, maybe enrolling into Hollywood it was gonna be so easy because I'm in America, and got in over here and I didn't have people who can just direct me to that path. So it was more like the community was more like, you have to do this, you have to do that to survive, you know. This is where what you do, job is easy for you. These things, you know, like you are not like them, you know, you don't speak like them. So um I didn't have like I said earlier. So
Yeah.
I had to just let it go, you know.
That must have been so heartbreaking.
Yes, even as I sit here right now, if I knew what I know right now, I would just go straight into the computer and just like, you know, search even some of the acting like, you know, careers in Chicago. And Columbia was just downtown, you know, that was super close to me. I could have started something over there,
Yeah.
you know, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I feel like before we move to, I want to use we as plural for we Africans. Before we move, we have expectations of, oh, we're going to America, or we're going to UK, we're going here, we're going to have fun, you know, get money. We have big dreams. And then you get here and your heart breaks.
Yeah.
Because of the things that you have to start, you have to start from scratch.
Yes.
It's like you're wiping away everything that you need,
Absolutely.
and you have to start from scratch, and that can be heartbreaking. What is that moment that burst your bubble? Like, okay, these are the expectations that I had, and now this is the reality.
Yeah, that was when I was in college, you know. And anytime I go back to it, I don't want to revisit it.
Okay.
Because rising to become the student government president, I had the opportunity of meeting a lot of dignitaries in Chicago. You know, travel out DC, you know, meet all the other colleges presidents, you know, and I was part of also 1 million degrees. It was a scholarship organization. They organized a lot of events, you know, and I met all these big people. Uh, Trust me, that was the best time for me to ask questions
Yeah.
about, you know, my acting career, you know. Maybe if I used to do this in Ghana, is there any channel I can, you know, maybe navigate through whilst in school and still pursue whatever I want to pursue? But I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Like, and more to do with some of them. I had their card. I reached out for one, maybe the first, second time, you don't get response. Then I lay back.
Feel your pain.
Yeah,
I
so
feel your
it's
pain.
it's.
I feel.
I don't want anybody to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my what bust my bubble? Hmm. It was when I had to make a choice. When you're not driving, you know,
Oh.
like when you're not driving, and most jobs are requiring you to
Which
drive,
drive?
and you have to make a choice to choose a job where you don't have to drive. So I was like, okay, should I? And the worst thing is, like during COVID,
Mhm.
every job, like every company, to a certain extent, they were laying off people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Let me maybe go in grocery store. But that's where it was even more scary. You couldn't go in there because of um COVID and
And at
lockdown.
this time.
Yeah, and people are not going there to buy stuff because everybody was locked. Everybody like bought a lot of stuff and it stayed locked up. And I was like, oh, maybe I could work in a grocery store. Then I worked in healthcare,
Okay.
and that was where my bubble was burst. I'm like, okay, yeah, I didn't expect,
You
I
just
didn't
have to
expect
be
to
there.
be here. But when life, what do they say? When life throws you lemons, you make lemonade. So I did make lemonade out there.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's how I got out. That's how I managed to actually navigate. I'm grateful for it. I'm not complaining. I'm grateful for it. I did learn a lot.
Mhm.
I think it actually helped me change a lot of my mindsets that I came with.
Yeah.
Like how I view family, how I view time with loved ones,
Friends.
how I view balance in my life, work and life balance, how I view relationships in general, and my personal self care.
Yeah.
That helped me a lot because I was looking at people sick, people who have a lot of money,
Mhm.
but they cannot live their life.
Yeah.
And yet they work all their life to
Yeah.
do what they wanted to do, to like live a beautiful life.
Yeah.
And now they can't.
Yeah.
So that's helped me to live the life that I'm actually living right now, you know? And I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
What setbacks did you have during that journey of trying to navigate yourself through your expectations and the reality that you found here?
I think it was more like with financial,
Financial setbacks.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not necessarily like not maybe having it right, but you're thinking about trying to put this money into this. What if, those, like where we're coming from, we have those kind of notions, right? What if putting maybe $10,000, $15,000 into this,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, nothing comes, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of putting money into something, most people when they come from Africa, they have dreams of, oh, I'm gonna invest back home.
Big
I'm gonna be
dreams.
sending money back home. I'm gonna build this. I'm gonna build that. And when they get here, they realize that's not how it works. It can take you like five,
Yes.
10 years to even
Yeah.
establish the smallest investment that you were thinking of. Are you one of those people?
No.
You didn't.
I mean, my dad had traveled for so many years, so
Mm.
I learned a lot from my dad. Most of the things that maybe he experienced, I didn't want it to, like follow suit. So for that aspect, I was good. I was not pressed
Yeah.
to like, be in a hurry to do something in Ghana. Fine. It would be nice to do it. But I saw some of the things my dad went through with people,
Yeah.
family members, friends and everybody. So I didn't want to be,
You were fortunate.
yeah, I
because
didn't want to be part of
you were
that.
just that dream of investing back home, and
Yeah.
they put their money there and they forget to live here.
Mhm.
I feel like people should prioritize their life here, and when they find a more stable ground, then they can start thinking of investing back home.
Yeah.
Yeah. What tips would you give to our fellow African immigrants when it comes to letting go of the dream that you came with, the expectations that you had, and harnessing the reality of your growth journey?
I would say we all have different backgrounds, right?
Yeah.
We are all coming from different family life cycle, different foundations. Um, don't even compare yourself with other people.
Oh yes.
You get what I mean?
Comparisons, yeah.
And one thing I cherished more with my life right now in this country, I love it. Is the mindset of understanding life that it's not a straight path.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can take you down, picks you up. My most priority thing is my health. It's something that I always tell people. When I meet my fellow Africans, I tell them, prioritize your health.
True.
Do checkups. Know certain things that, you have limitations on. Work on those. Regardless of the money we're trying to chase, if that thing struck you down, you're going to put all those money back into it.
The truth is, that is true. And when your bubble bursts, when you burst your bubble, trust me, most people get mental health.
Oh, yeah.
They don't go through with it. So it is true for people to prioritize their health. And for people to learn to be open. Have an open mind. Like when something else comes your way, instead of looking at it as something negative, try to see opportunities out of it. How can you maneuver for
Yeah.
it to work for you and not against you?
Yeah.
How can you use that situation that you're in to grow yourself, to better yourself, to get more skills and be better at what you do, or even create a new path for you that you will be excited about. Okay, so let's talk about other expectations besides career.
Mhm.
What other expectations do you have, like in terms of social life, foods?
Social life, I like to dance.
Okay.
I love dancing. If you see me Anywhere they play music, I'm gonna dance.
My mind was gonna speak to you.
Yeah, like even with the myself being a photographer,
Yeah.
I mean you see me in Ugandan events where when I'm done with my hours, I jump on the dance floor and just dance with everybody, Because I think it's something that regardless of the things that we go through here, we need to spend time and have fun, If you have to travel, travel. If I have friends, when they're having weddings or maybe their first child and I'm free, spending that, you know, spending that amount of money traveling, go
Have fun.
have fun.
Enjoy
It's
your life.
it wouldn't
It's your
break your bank account.
Yeah.
Yeah, just travel, eat well. We are coming from a background where we all know that at least we know some one or two, add pepper, add onions,
When you
blend one or two things and
Yeah.
boom, something can come out of it.
when you say that, I never expected to find African food here.
Oh, really?
That I did not expect.
Really?
I thought
Oh, it's all gonna be McDonald's and all these like.
fast food.
And back home, you see they make the commercial, the double burger, the triple burger. You are there, and you're like, oh my god, this isn't gonna taste really good. But you come here and
I'm not a burger person.
Okay.
Yeah.
For some people, yes.
Yeah.
They really wanted to taste it so bad. I have a friend in Ghana. He's like, oh my god, Emmanuel, I can't wait to come to US and go over there and just bite, like get the layers and
Yeah.
press it down and just bite it. And I'm like, you know what? Trust me, you bite it, but in about few flash in your eyes, you drove past it.
Not even that, like how back home, like KFC, McDonald's, and all those fast foods are like that. Luxury foods back there, like I can't wait to try McDonald's. I can't wait. Okay, there's KFC, but like some countries don't have McDonald's,
Yeah.
and then some countries do have the ice cream place.
Oh, like in Ghana, they have ice cafe, so it's more like when you go, it's like these kind of fresh yogurt, in cups, and they have some pastries added to it. Like
Yeah.
it's become like a cool joint in most places
Exactly,
in Ghana right
yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, KFC is a cool joint back in Uganda. Like,
Oh,
you
hey,
get me and
man.
I'm like,
I had a
KFC.
friend who told me. It was his girlfriend's birthday,
And he took her in
and he
KFC.
couldn't afford to take her to KFC, and the lady broke up with him.
Over KFC? Like, come on.
Trust me, it will surprise you. Trust me. And I'm like, KFC, but you know what? One thing is, I didn't make him feel stupid, right?
Yeah.
Because even if I were to be in Ghana right now, I'll cherish it.
I did not like, actually, KFC, I like their chicken, but I was over fries. I didn't like fries.
Yeah. So,
So,
yep.
I expected the clubs here, like the nightlife here, to be very lively, exciting, like going
Yeah.
out. I just want to go out. I was excited to go into the city to
Yeah.
find nightlife. I want to know what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Because in Uganda, the nightlife there, honey,
Yes.
people love having fun in Uganda. They love enjoying life.
Mhm.
Coming here, I thought, this was gonna be like an upgrade. And to my surprise, reality hits. People do work home, work
Yeah, work
home,
home. That's it.
home,
Yeah.
work home, and then I'm like, okay, what time and when are we gonna go to the clubs?
You try to like the reality is you try to call someone Friday night, the person is working night shift.
Man, night shift. Sorry, I can't make it.
Or even the fun part of it is you plan the night with someone.
Yeah.
You know very well that I'm picking Agatha at 9 o'clock. You call 8 o'clock, Agatha, are you ready? Oh, I'm getting ready. 8:30, 8:45, Agatha tells you, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Emmanuel, but I just had a call from work, so I have to.
You have to take the shift.
Yeah, I have to.
You
I
just have to
go.
choose your friends right.
And by then you go like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's the reality on grounds.
I feel
And
like
you can't blame them because you're not going to be the one paying their rent.
true, and it teaches you to learn to have fun on your own.
Yes.
See how back home you're always like in groupies, like,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
fine.
you guys are gonna go out, are you gonna do this?
Yep.
You learn to say, okay, I'm gonna go out. Oh
Yeah.
my God, I've gone out before alone.
Yep. Yeah.
I have gone to do some spa stuff alone.
Mm-hmm.
I have I wanted to learn how to travel alone.
Yeah.
And like just go and have.
And have you also realized that when we go back home and people are coming to you maybe 1, 2, 3 times and you get offended? Like, why are they coming? Like, because like we tend to be alone, like do everything ourselves, and we don't get bothered. So when you go back home and if you're not someone that easily assimilate, in other areas, you go back and you feel like you still want to be alone.
I did learn. I never knew that I would enjoy my personal time. I always used to think, oh, I'm an outgoing person, I'm an extrovert. I have to always have people around me, enjoy people. Then I realized that I actually enjoy my me time.
Oh.
I do love my time a lot.
For me, I like to cook all the time, that's why.
My me time is, I can watch TV, I can just relax in my space, watch TV, eat something, probably some comfort food, and then enjoy it.
Oh.
And that was something that I actually realized that I enjoy being alone.
Yeah.
I never knew before because I did not ever live alone back home. I was always with
social life is hard. Yeah.
I had to find clubs. I had to find places like restaurants. I had to find like what's going on, what happens here, because I can't imagine life with just work life. Yeah. And it's not just with African immigrants or just immigrants. It's everybody. Even the people that were born and raised here.
Yes.
It's just the life.
You have a roommate and you don't even see the person. You have a roommate, you don't even see the person. Not back home where at least you know that even your next door neighbor can even knock at your door and ask, oh, I haven't seen you in like 2-3 days, where have you been? Exactly. And that is why we have most of our brothers sometimes who die for like 3 days.
Because they live alone.
The only time we get to find out is like, when the body begins to stink, then like, we have to call like, the cops.
I had to learn the meaning of having a good support system.
Good.
Not just here. I'm lucky and blessed that I have good friends around me, but I'm also blessed that I have a good family back home where they call me just to check on. They call me just to know that I'm okay, everything's working well. Usually, we're always in each other's business.
That's good.
What's going on? How's work? How's this? How was your day? How is this going? Okay. Like, my family knows everything about me.
That's good.
Everything. So, yeah, I feel like everybody should try to get a good support system to help you through the transition of expectations and then the realities that you may hear, because they can be in your trauma. It can work for you.
And I would say this, that, especially like our brothers and sisters, who comes here and they have this notion that, I'm a Ghanaian or I'm a Nigerian, I'm a Ugandan, Ethiopian. Oh, I don't want to be around my people. Like, I want to stay away from them. If you are there watching us, let me tell you this. Regardless of how you may think your people may be toxic, that's what you have.
Yeah, exactly. I think I am more Ugandan here than I was back home. I said that to my friend recently, and I'm like, I feel like I'm more Ugandan here than I was back home. And I thought I was never going to be Ugandan if I come here. Like, I was like, I'm going to the white people land or I'm going abroad. So I'm going to be, like the white people, handy. You learn to appreciate your culture. You learn to appreciate your food. You learn to appreciate everything that is about you. Like, you want more belonging to an attachment and identity to who you are than what you think back home. You're like, I don't want to speak Uganda. I just want to speak English.
Oh, yeah. There's some places you go. I remember one time I went to a place and I was speaking Twi, the Ghanaian language, and one lady was like, oh, no. There was a little boy, I know perfectly the guy can speak Twi. And he was asking me a question, uncle, blah, 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 blah. And I was speaking Twi to this person, and there was a lady behind me who was like, can you speak English to him? And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I had to hold my breath,
Mm.
and I still maintained the tree language with the little boy.
Mm.
And this boy responded with the same language,
Nice.
you know.
That feels good.
And there was one man that was behind me. He's like, I'm glad you composed yourself. And I'm like, you know what? So why do we tend to throw away our beautiful culture,
Mm.
that we want to enjoy social life here, and you want to forget about your people, right? And you go places where I wouldn't say you don't belong or you're not accepted, but when the unexpected happens, then now you want to throw shit.
Mm.
You want to use the big R word. You are using the big R word, and at the same time, you don't even want to get close to your people.
Okay. What truths would you want our fellow Africans to know before they move here or when they've just moved here?
I think I tell everybody that, in this life, what is in here, if you don't let it out, it's still there.
Mm.
You can be among your people, but it determines what you let out. That will, like, because most people think that, if I'm around my people, they gossip a lot, they did blah 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 blah. What do you put out there? Like, you ask the right questions, ask the right information. If someone is trying to, like, get to know more about you, and there are certain things you think when you let out, it's gonna hurt you, why do you let them out?
Mm-hmm.
You find a way to, like, silence people politely and just go your way.
Yeah.
And still be around your people. Because there are some things that it's easy for me to meet you, Agatha, and ask, and be more comfortable to, like, say whatever I want to say.
Sure.
If you can be rude, you can be nice, you can be whatever you want to be. But at the end of the day, I know that, okay, coming to you, there's a higher chance that I may probably get what I'm going to ask.
Yeah. That's very true. In my end, if you are planning to move if you're planning to move abroad, anywhere abroad, or if you've just landed or just arrived, like you're fresh, 1 month, 2 months, still in the first year. First, let go of your expectations because America will humble you or Bulaya. Bulaya is like abroad. Bulaya is in November.
Oh,
Yeah. Bulaya will humble you.
I think in Ghana we call Aborigine.
Aborigine.
Yes.
Okay. Aborigine.
You said it right, don't worry.
It will humble you. Yeah? So if you be stuck on your expectations, it's gonna break you. Be open. Just be open to trying out new things, to let go of your expectations, and expect to work. You've come, like, expect to work. However, also expect to learn. You need to learn to balance your work with your life.
Yes.
Because if you don't, that is going to also affect you in a certain way. What are the expectations? I never thought America had potholes. I never thought America had potholes, so there's certain areas you'll drive.
Did you ever thought there were mosquitoes here? Houseflies?
Wait, where did you find mosquitoes?
Mosquitoes?
I haven't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nighttime, sit at your balcony without those, and you see how
Really?
they'll fly around you. Yes.
Okay, I don't sit outside.
Yeah, definitely. Like some.
Sit on my bed outside.
Oh, good. So try one time.
Okay.
Yeah, try one time. Like, I remember back in Ghana, we thought, like, even when you come here, you won't even find dust,
Dust.
There's no, like, house flies,
No.
there's no mosquitoes. Everything looks fine. Everything looks polished. Like,
But in all honesty, the dust back in Uganda and the dust here, I'll choose the one here. The one back in Uganda.
It's still dust now. Every dust be
It's
dust.
not as bad. Yo, have you been in dust where you take like a bike?
That is showers of blessing.
You're going.
That is showers of blessing.
Your hair will be brown.
That is showers of blessing.
No.
Blessing from the motherland.
No. I'll choose the dust here. However, potholes, still I'll choose the potholes here, not the ones back home.
But the ones back home is a natural makeup.
No.
It's flash on your face and you get everywhere covered. Like, but the only thing you have to do is just cover your lips and your eyes. You open your eyes and lips, and you have your face evenly lit. You don't even
No,
like that.
I'll pass. However, the food I'll choose back home.
Definitely, we're all gonna choose back home.
Yeah.
That's when we go back home. We want to eat and eat, and when it's time,
Yeah, organic. I have a friend who's every time they go to organic, they're so happy. They're like, yeah, I'm eating organic. I'm enjoying organic.
like you eat from that.
I didn't know of the meaning of
uh,
okay, I knew the meaning of organic, but I didn't know how much you'd enjoy saying, oh, I'm buying organic food until when I came here. So.
I didn't even know there was something even called organic.
Oh my God. Emmanuel, thank you so much
Always.
for coming back to Finding Bliss. We enjoy having you here and having beautiful conversations with you.
Thank you.
And wish you the best in your journey. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening wherever you are. And if you have any stories of your expectations and realism you got here, please share it in the comment section. And do not forget to share and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And you can also find us on different podcast channels. Enjoy, share, laugh. If you wanna try, if you wanna know how to live life, continue watching Finding Bliss, and let's catch you in the next episode. Bye bye.